All right, Jan. So thanks so much for leading this presentation tonight. I'm going to hand it off over to you and let me know if at any point you need me to do anything technicality wise. But thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you, Chris and TeKisha, our graduate students in HDFS. And then also thank you, Alia, Andrea, and Grace, our undergraduate students, for being here with us tonight to share your stories and your experiences abroad. So without further ado, Jan, take it away.
All right, thanks, Marilei. Let's start with introductions. I am Jan Brooks. The pronouns I use are she and hers. I have been an instructor in HDFS, which means I'm a professor, but I don't have tenure. I don't do research and publish, but I teach lots of courses, and I always teach some of the introductory courses. So when students come to Illinois, one of your courses at least is going to be with me. So that's pretty exciting. I also lead study abroad programs to Zimbabwe and South Africa, and I've helped set up a full semester study abroad program with courses at a university in South Africa, along with an internship there. And so we're going to talk about those, as well as an opportunity for a virtual internship, a remote internship that is possible to do with agencies in South Africa looking after child health and well-being. And so all of those are going to be covered. Shall I let TeKisha introduce herself, and then Chris, and then we'll go on?
Sure. So my name is TeKisha. I am a doctoral candidate here in Human Development and Family Studies at the University of Illinois. My pronouns are she and her, and I have assisted Jan on, I think, 7 study abroad trips now to Cape Town, South Africa, and that has been an amazing experience for me to be working with her and learning so much more about study abroad and what that experience is like, and how beneficial it is for college students, undergrads in particular, to study abroad and integrate that into their career development.
Hi, my name is Chris Maniotes, and I am a 5th-year doctoral student here in the Department of Human Development and Family Studies. And in terms of study abroad, I have also assisted Jan as a program leader for our last 2 trips to Cape Town over winter break. And I can certainly echo what TeKisha said about it being a impactful and meaningful experience for all around. So, yeah.
All right, back to me then. We're going to talk about all of these programs that I do. So I'm going to move the slide. You see some students from Illinois overlooking a beautiful beach there on this slide on the side. And we are actually standing on the southwestern tip of the continent. So that's exciting. What we offer here are 3 different programs. There is an 8-week course and 3-week, like a pre-departure course, and then a 3-week winter break trip to South Africa that Chris and TeKisha have both assisted me with in the past. There also is a full semester of field work in South Africa, and that includes an internship and also 3 courses at the University of the Western Cape, 2 or 3 courses, internship work for HDFS credit. So that's about a full semester of 14 to 16 credit hours. There also is the opportunity to do an 8-week virtual internship in South Africa. It's also connected with a 3 credit hour course. And that's a new one that I'm just starting right now, but we intend to continue to do this particular course, HDFS 398, Child Health in South Africa. When we can resume travel, we'll just have that as an additional program, because there might be students who want to have the South African experience and do the internship, but not have time to actually get on the plane and go on the trip. If we have time today, I'm also going to show you just a couple of slides on a faculty-led program that I do some summers to Zimbabwe. Again, child health. Okay. And let's see, TeKisha, you want to talk about this slide?
Sure. So in Cape Town, there's the opportunity for the students to engage in service learning at a number of different sites. And they touch on the number of different types of careers someone in human development and family studies might pursue once they graduated. So we have shelters for women and children where people often work either with the women or with the children, sometimes both, just depending on the needs. There's also a number of youth programs that we collaborate with where people get to work on programming and work directly with youth. One popular option is the option for working with hospitalized children, which is mostly popular for people interested in child life or occupational therapy, speech language pathology, those types of fields as well. Some other options are the homes for children with disabilities, also popular among people who are interested in occupational therapy or child life. That's been a great experience. I think that's one of the favorites that students often mention is working at the homes for children with disabilities, because you really get to build relationships with the students over time because you see the same students every day, whereas those who are in the hospital might have different patients on different days. There's also a few public health clinics for people who are interested in more medical careers. So people who are going to medical school might be interested in public health clinics, or people interested in nursing. And then we have community gardens and small animal veterinary clinics, both also very well-loved options. And the community garden is a great place where people who are also just may not be sure exactly where they want to go, but want to contribute to community still. And you can still develop all of those professional development skills and learn so many hands-on things that you can transfer to your career at a place like the community garden, as well as with the small animal veterinary clinic, as you are allowed to shadow veterinarians, but there's also a number of different administrative tasks that you might be able to help with, or you might be able to help launch a website and develop more skills than you really think you might get within these specific sites.
All right, thanks. All right, this slide is just going to show us this option that we've got, the field semester internships. All of the programs that I lead are open to HDFS students, but also any other students on campus. And so you see some sort of categories of the sorts of internships that students might want to do here, especially on the full semester program. You just work that out with our internship provider. They'll ask you for some information about your career goals and perhaps a resume, and have a Zoom meeting, and they'll help you get placed in an internship that is really custom fit to your career goals and your desires while you're in that semester abroad. So some of these agencies are the same as we use for the faculty-led program, but there are more options in the full semester. Okay, Chris, let's have you talk about the pre-departure course a little bit.
Sure thing. Yeah. So in the pre-departure course, we cover a variety of topics. There's a heavy focus on understanding the history and cultural diversity embedded in South Africa. And we try and have students question and unpack their own assumptions about what they know about South Africa and sort of the information they bring into the course. We also spend time discussing family life in South Africa and how that intersects with educational policy, food security issues, and current events. So for example, on our last trip there were disputes over beach access for local community members. So not only did we touch on that before departure in the course, but we also continued that conversation once we were there. And also in terms of the pre-departure course, we use a variety of mediums to engage with students, so such as videos, group activities, and guest lectures. And often the group activities are done in groups of those that are also going to be at the same service sites, so students can get to know each other a little bit more before departure through those activities.
Great, thanks. All right, we're going to whiz through some really nice pictures here, and that will just show some of the opportunities. When we first arrive, we like to look at sort of the geographic orientation. Where are we on the African continent, and what is the geography? What are the urban and rural spaces, and what are the high density sort of suburban areas that they call townships in South Africa, where under apartheid rule, and colonialism, some of the people of color were sort of relegated to those spaces, and you see socioeconomic disparities that are still related to that history of South Africa, even though it has been a democracy with a Black president for about 25 years now. We're looking at a picture of the botanical garden that sits right under Table Mountain, and it's absolutely beautiful. They are medicinal plants, plants as old as the dinosaurs that are studied scientifically, and it's just a beautiful place for a walk or a picnic. Okay. When we arrive, we like to do some tourism in some of those township spaces. So we meet with local people. Youth is considered a teenager all the way up through about age 35. And so there are a lot of youth programs. This is a performing choir that pulled some of our students up on the stage. And there's entrepreneurship and all these really good ideas that are coming from young people in these township areas on how to make a living and how to uplift their communities. So we've had experience with groups like this performing group and heard their stories. We have a coffee shop that we like to visit that a guy started in his dad's garage, and now it's a well-known spot outside of Cape Town. And last time we were there, we got to paint murals with some young people who were painting murals in their community. So that was really fun. We also like to spend time with some guys at a shelter that's in the city close to where we stay. This is a shelter for young men, and we like to go and spend a little time with them. They're running a coffee shop in their backyard, and it's a good place to go for a coffee or a meal and just talk about the way that we've all lived and our shared experiences. Okay. When we get to the service work, this is a shot taken at Children's Hospital, Red Cross War Memorial Children's Hospital. It's the largest pediatric hospital on the African continent. And we have had students work in a volunteer program that is similar to a play therapy or child life program. And that's what you're looking at here. We also have students that are pre-med, pre-nursing that like to go on this program. And we like to place them in public health clinics. And so we can't really take photos of the patients in the clinics, but these students will shadow in the clinics, and they start out in the records room and kind of build rapport. And then they're sort of farmed out to the doctors and nurses who will run them through all of the different patients, the different units within the clinic or hospital or trauma center that they can observe. And sometimes the students will help a little bit, sit with women that have had babies and sort of wait with them until they know that they're ready to go home. And sometimes they'll wrap, they'll observe wounds being stitched perhaps, and then finish the wrapping and things like that. We can't really practice medicine, but it is a little more hands-on than it would be at home. This is our shelter for children with disabilities, and they're waiting for us to come back. This is really a fun place to work.